right. Directory Oregon.exe. Howdy, howdy, this is Blue Otter. Today we are continuing with the next version of the Oregon Trail. Alright, so introduction. What was it like to cross 2,000 miles of plains, rivers, and mountains in 1848? The Oregon Trail allows you to relive one of the greatest adventures of American history, the journey taken by thousands of immigrants in the Oregon Trail, or on the Oregon Trail. It was a long, difficult journey, one that often resulted in failure and death, but for those who succeeded, it led to new and better life for the rich, fertile Willamette Valley of Oregon. How will you make life and death decisions? How will you cross the rivers? How much and what kind of supplies should you take along? If you run low on provisions, will you be able to hunt or trade to get the food you need? Will you overcome the dangers of disease and severe weather? The Oregon Trail poses these and other exciting challenges. If for some reason you don't survive, your wagon burns, thieves steal your oxen, you run out of provisions, or you die of cholera, don't give up. Unlike the real pioneers in 1848, you can try again and again until you succeed and your name is added to the Oregon Trail list of legends. The object of the Oregon Trail is for you to make it all the way from Independence, Missouri to Oregon's Willamette Valley. Along the way, you'll have many decisions to make. On the computer screen, you'll see various buttons that you can click with the mouse. Clicking on these buttons allows you to perform different functions vital to the success of your journey. For example, clicking on the rations button lets you decide how much food you'll eat each day along the way, or along the trail. You'll also see conditions panel that keep you informed of the date, the weather, and the current situations of your wagon. Just like the real-life pioneers, you'll have to stay alert and make good decisions if you want to survive. If you make it all the way to Willamette Valley, you'll receive points based on your current status. If your score is high enough, you'll be added to the list of legends. If you have to stop in the middle of your journey, you can quit and save by going to the options screen so that you can resume the journey at a later time. Welcome to the Oregon Trail. You're about to begin a great adventure traveling the Oregon Trail across the rugged landscape of North America. Your covered wagon, pulled by a team of oxen, will travel from Independence, Missouri to the fertile Willamette Valley of the Oregon Territory, a journey of approximately 2,000 miles. Before you set off on the trail, register your name, the names of your members of your wagon party, and your occupation. After that, you'll need to buy supplies and make other important decisions. Good luck. All right, so we have several different options. So we have Blue Otter. All right. We will go with our same group from last time. And we have Susie. And then we have Ace and Bandit. All right. So with this, we have the choice of occupation. So we've expanded from a banker, a carpenter, and a farmer. So now we have a banker, a blacksmith, a carpenter, a doctor, a farmer, a merchant, a saddle maker, and a teacher. So let's see what we have. Occupation help. People from all walks of life went west to Oregon. You can pick your occupation, but each choice has its own advantages and disadvantages. So you have bankers, starting cash $1,600, special advantages none, final bonus none. Doctors, starting cash $1,200. Sick or injured people are less likely to die. That's always a good sign. Final bonus none. Merchants, you start with $12,000, no special advantages. Final bonus times 1.5. Blacksmiths, $800, more likely to repair broken wagon parts. Final bonus times 2. Carpenters, same thing, $800, more likely to repair broken wagon parts times 2. Saddle makers start with $800, no special advantages. Final bonus 2.5. Farmers, you start with $400. Oxen are less likely to get sick and die. Final bonus times 3. Teachers, $400, no special advantages. And the final bonus is times 3.5. So you get a lot more thing. Yeah, yeah, I'd be like, teachers should be like getting the special advantage of they'll tell you what you should have known before you did something stupid. All right. So with this, I think I'm going to go with the doctor. So it's taking a little bit of a pay cut from the banker, but I'm not going to be trying to, I'm not going to have issues like I did with the, when I did a farmer run, and we didn't even make it to the mountains. All right. So with this is our group. We're going to select OK. Now we need to go to, here we have Matt's General Store. So Matt has not changed his name. And then it tells us like how much we can do, but it doesn't give us any of the helpful hints of like, this is how many that I suggest you get. My personal preference that I always try to do is I always try to get as many oxen as I can, because oxen eat grass. They take like virtually nothing to take care of. If they, of course, I don't think you can in this version. If they die, you have free meat. If, as I said, some of them, I think in Oregon Trail 2, I think you can get dairy cows. So you can get milk off of that. But with oxen, okay, so if they get sick or injured and they die, you can cook the meat. If you need more oxen to help pull, you have more oxen. So you can kind of trade them out. So they're not always pulling. You can kind of break up the team. Another thing is that if something breaks down, because like I'll get one each of these, but if something breaks down, I'm not going to carry a lot of these because they take a lot of money. I know this is just 10, but they take a lot of weight and they take a lot of space. So with boxes of bullets, let's get 50. Can we do that? Yeah. Sets of clothing. Now we have 5 people. It's recommended at least in the last episode or in the last one, it was recommended at least 2 per person. And I think when I did the banker, I might have done either 2 or 3. When I did the farmer, I tried to do 3 and that didn't work out. So I think with this one, I could probably get away with 3, but that would mean I would have, let's see, if I did 3, I have 5 people because I'd have to include myself. So 3 times 5 is 15. So I could do 15, and that would outfit everyone with 3 sets of clothing. All right. Now, we're going to, can we up this to 5? Just so you know, this is not really, I mean, like I can click on it, but with my mouse, but, it's more of just, it's not really it's more, I can click on it, which would be almost the equivalent of just hitting enter. I can't like highlight or something. All right. So then it was recommended, I think it was 200 pounds of food per person times 5 people comes to an even 1,000 pounds of food. That's quite a bit of money. That is a little difficult to read. That is $780. Just to put the size of this on my as perspective of what this is on my screen. I have a 15-inch monitor, and this is like the size of my phone, because it's playing in a little itty emulator for DOS. We're going to, how much, out of curiosity, how much is 1,500 pounds of food? Okay. So do I want that? I could do, let's split the difference, kind of. That gives us 380 left, right? Or is it 280? I think that's 280. No. That's math. That's what we have left. We have math left. Okay. I think we're going to go 1,200 pounds. We get an extra 500 or an extra 200 pounds. So we've got room for like a 6th person. I've got 50. I got 75 boxes of bullets. 15 oxen. Okay. Let's do it. Bye. All right. Starting date. You need to decide when you set off on the trail. If you leave too early, there won't be much grass for your oxen to eat. You may encounter some very cold weather and late spring snowstorms. If you leave too late, you may not get to Oregon before winter, which can be very dangerous. If you leave at just the right time, there will be green grass and, for the most part, mild weather. So last time we started in April, and that's really, I think, the best time to start. So we're going to do we're going to do April. I wonder if the songs are different. Okay, so we've got some different things over here. We have our map. We can see our map over here. We can see our guide, which gives us some different information on things that we can find or things that we'll see. You can pause at any one of these. I'm sure it's going to hit. Eventually, I'm going to hit the end. There we are. All right. Then you have our status, so you can see how everyone is doing, what all of our equipment is, how much money we have. There we go. See, 330. I wasn't too far off. Rations. So we are going to have filling, meager, and bare bones. So help, filling, meals are large and generous. Meager, meals are small but adequate. Bare bones, meals are very small. Everyone stays hungry and your health may suffer. Okay. You have buy, which would allow us to go back to the shop, but we're not going to go back to the shop. You can do trading, you can talk, you can rest, you could set your pace, a steady pace, a strenuous pace, or a grueling pace. So steady, you travel 8 hours a day. You take many rests and rarely get very tired, which I usually do that at least at the beginning. Strenuous, you travel 12 hours a day, starting at sunrise and stopping at sunset. You stop to rest only when you must. You finish each day very tired. Grueling, you travel 16 hours a day, starting before dawn and going until dark. You rarely rest and sleep. You finish each day exhausted and your health suffers. The problem I would have with the grueling pace is that you might be able to get a lift in the wagon and be able to sleep on the go if you could ever get comfortable that way. But the animals are not going to be able to. And then there's the hunt feature, which hunting is not allowed near Independence, Missouri, because there are too many people around. So you actually can't go hunting when you're in one of the landmarks. So we are going to, and it's got this little menu here. So we are going to hit continue. And we start off with an ox being sick. Isn't that awesome? All right, a thief stole 12 sets of clothing. What the? Oh, I think that's my people. Let's see. Yeah, my people are pretty much, yeah, we're apparently a nudist colony now. Yay. All right. We have reached the Kansas River crossing. You must cross the river to continue. The river is currently 638 feet wide and 6 feet deep across. So you can attempt to ford the river. And they have little pictures here to help you see what it is. Caulk the wagon and float it, or take the ferry for $5. So here, to ford the river means to pull your wagon across the shallow part of the river with the oxen still attached. To caulk the wagon means to seal it with pitch or tar so that no water can get in. The wagon can then be floated across the river. To use a ferry means you put your wagon on top of a flat boat that belongs to someone else. The owner of the ferry will charge a fee to take your wagon across the river. We are going to, because we have money, we're going to take the ferry. Because if the ferry breaks down, then I'm going to put in like an insurance claim or something. All right, so we have, you made it safely across the river. Awesome. All right, we are continuing on. I like that it's got this, this scrolling bar. And something broke. You have a wagon axle break, but we're able to replace it from supplies. You reach the Big Blue River crossing. All right. You must cross the river to continue. The river is currently 242 feet wide and 3.5 feet deep. Given how heavy it is, okay, so because ferry's not an option, it doesn't give me ferry. That's good. That's fair. 242. I kind of want to cock the wagon and float it, but I'm trying to think, because I think we might be able to ford it, but I want to say like under 3 feet. So I think I'm going to try to float it and float it across the river. I mean, it would effectively be very shallow, but you made it safely across the river. So out of curiosity, what's my status? I have 3 more sets of clothing. Yay. Back to the map. Continue. So we are moving. We're at a steady pace. We're getting filling meals. You have reached Fort Kearney. We are going to... I'm going to switch over to MECC, and we're going to hit continue. I should have hit continue before that. So this is an option where we could like talk, and I hear terrible stories about wagon parties running out of food before Oregon. The whole party starving to death. We must check our supplies often. We might not get there as soon as we think. Always plan for the worst, I say. So otherwise, there's really not any music. We lost the trail. And we did change the rations just to MECC, just to kind of save up a little bit, but we're keeping a steady pace because everything's going fine. We are still in April. We're about to cross into May as we go in. Now, if we lose something else, what was that? The axle broke before. So if the axle broke before, again, we're gonna have to do some trading or purchase one. We reached Chimney Rock. Alright, we are going to continue. And something broke. The tongue broke, but we were able to fix it. Okay, good. So we didn't have to have that. Bandit is suffering from exhaustion. So what we're going to do is we're going to spend and we're going to rest just 1 day. So we're going to rest a day, and then we're going to continue on. What is it? Ace has a broken leg. Guys, I'm supposed to be this doctor, so what am I not doctoring here? Okay, so we have to our next landmark, Fort Laramie. Bandit is well again. So let's see. Let's check our status. So Ace still has a broken leg. Everyone's doing fair. Let's see if we can buy another axle. How much is an axle going to be here? Oh, well, look at that. They don't have any axles. Convenient. Okay. So we're going to continue. We found some wild fruit. There's no grass for the oxen. And Clara has cholera. Clara was bitten by a snake. Clara needs to stay in the wagon. No water. No grass for the oxen. No grass for the oxen. Clara died from the snake bite. And the callous person in me thinks, oh, that's one less mouth to feed. So let's continue on our way. I'm so sorry, Clara. Alright. So if we look at our status, yeah, Clara's deceased. Ace still has a broken leg. And we still have no water. Why do we not have water? No grass for the oxen. Ace has a broken arm. Ace? Okay, hold on. It has this, but then, okay. Well, maybe we need to go back to filling meals. Susie has dysentery. Okay. We have no water again. Why did we not fill up canteens with water? You have reached Independence Rock. Alright, we are going to... we're going to continue. We're going to rest for another day. And then since we're down to 400, let's go ahead and do some hunting. Here is our little... Yeah, I don't want to get greedy. I mean, I know when I was a kid, I would be like, we would just have competitions, and you can only shoot like your 20 bullets at most. We're gonna go ahead and end the hunting on that, because I don't think, yeah, you brought back 200 pounds. You shot 654 pounds of food and used 2 bullets, but we're only able to carry 200 pounds of food back, which I think is absolutely ludicrous, because even when I played this as a kid, I was like, have you never heard of taking trips? Like, I killed an animal. I can only carry maybe 100, let's say I'm carrying 100 pounds. I get back to my wagon. We go back, oh, I need to hit continue. We go back and we take another 100 pounds. If that takes a couple trips, then so be it. It's still food. It's wasteful. All right. So our health is still poor. Okay, it just upgraded to fair. We are still having no grass for the oxen. Susie did get better again. We found some wild fruit. That's good. The oxen are having issues finding grass. We lost the trail, which has delayed us a little bit. So whoever was navigating for that little chunk of space where we got lost. All right, and Bandit has dysentery, and we've reached South Pass. All right, we are going to... what is our status? I know this is gonna then take back. Okay, so we have poor, dysentery, broken arm. We just got better, and then now all of a sudden... All right, so we are on filling meals. We're on steady pace, and I don't really want to go beyond that. Yeah, I think we're going to continue. So we can either head to Fort Bridger to buy supplies, or take the shortcut to Green River. So if I look over here, we do still have our 3 sets of clothing amongst 4 people. So someone is going around without. I have plenty of bullets. No, I think what we're going to do is we're going to go take the shortcut to the Green River. And I think we're going to go hunting again. Now we've got green grass. I like how they procedurally generate the trees. And there's our elk. So there's elk, deer, squirrel, pronghorn, it's not like I don't have bullets to waste. There we go. Okay, I think we're good. So how much did I waste on that? You shot 905 pounds of food and used 12 bullets, but you were only able to carry back 200 pounds of food back. Because I have never heard of the concept of making trips. Susie is suffering from exhaustion, so we're going to rest. This time we're going to rest for 2 days. We're still in June, so we've got some time. We're about halfway there-ish. So we're making progress. So you decided to rest for 2 days. Ace is well again. Awesome. Awesome possum. Bandit was bitten by a snake. Okay. So, and then you found some wild fruit. So hopefully, Bandit's going to be okay. Hopefully. Because the last person that got bit by a snake didn't do too well. Susie got sick and died. I am so sorry, Susie. Now, my second thought is now we're not short on clothing. Okay. Continuing on. As we have... I have got to be like the worst doctor. Someone gets bit by a snake, they die. Someone gets sick, they die. It's supposed to not be happening. And Ace got bitten by a snake. Everyone is... What is up with the snakes? Alright, you have reached the Green River Crossing. Alright, and we're going to continue. Alright, you must cross the river to continue. The river is currently 402 feet wide and 20 feet deep. You can attempt to ford the river. That's gonna fail. Caulk the wagon and float it. I don't trust myself. Or take the ferry for $5. We're gonna take the ferry. Across the river. Because I'm not stupid. 20 feet deep? Heck no. Alright. You made it safely across the river. Yay! Alright. Ace has a broken leg, but Bandit is well again. Okay, Bandit was bitten by a snake. Okay, so Ace has been bitten by a snake. And Ace now has been bitten by a snake and has a broken leg. And Thief stole our last 3 sets of clothes. Bandit was bitten by a snake. You took the wrong trail. All right, hailstorm. That is, we are in July. And moving right along. Another hailstorm. Bandit is well again. That's good. Now, how about Ace? We're in fair condition, so we are improving. You have reached Soda Springs. Yeah, so many memories of when I took computer programming in high school. We were the last group that was learning that language. Bandit has been bitten by a snake. Oh my gosh, there's so many snakes in this. And in my class, about half of the class were band students. And it was really funny because we would go through, we have Fort Hall. Let's see, let's check our status. I have no clothing, deceased, broken leg, snake bite, and fair. I am the entire reason why we're classified as fair. Let's see if we can get some clothes. They don't have any clothes. Do we have, if I do 3? Or no, okay, maybe this is what I have or what I don't have. Okay, so we're gonna do 1, 1. No, if we're gonna do that, we're gonna get 9. Can I do that? Yeah, I can do that. Let's buy that. Alright, and we're gonna hit continue. Bandit was bitten by a snake. Again. So I was in computer programming class. Half the class was band, which in one way was really bad because when in football season, when they called out students to come down and prepare for the pep rally, thieves stole 67 pounds of food from the wagon. Well, I can go hunting and fix that. And we found some wild fruit. So when we get called down to prepare for there's a bear. We'd get called down to prepare for the pep rally, and shot 320 pounds of food and used 2 bullets, but we're only able to carry 200 pounds back of food. Food back. And we're going to continue. Delayed because of heavy fog. Yeah, so anyway, so when we got called out, there was like a handful of kids left in the class. So class was effectively was canceled whenever they called because we couldn't really do anything because half the class was either left because we were in band or cheerleaders or the football team. Ace was bitten by another snake. Thieves and snakes. So, yeah. But on the plus side, when we started writing and adding music into our programs, my teacher just... All right, you have reached the Snake River crossing. We've reached that. Pretty decent. What's our status on there? Snake bite, fair. Okay, well, we're improving. Let's continue. You must cross the river to continue. The river is currently 1,000 feet wide and 6 feet deep. Hire an Indian to help for 3 sets of clothing. Sure, why not? At least they're not being stolen this time. That was mean. I was not saying that like the Native Americans were stealing before. That's someone else. I'm just saying that this is at least my choice to decrease the amount of clothing that I have. All right, you have made it safely across the river. So anyway, so when we finally got to add Ace, something happened with Ace. Snake bite. Yeah, we're just gonna keep having snakes. And Ace as well again, with no water. So when we finally got to add music to our... Bandit was bitten by a snake. I do not remember snakes being this prominent. So we finally got to add music to our programs. What our teacher did was, because normally he's like, I have to teach everyone how to read music. And what he ended up doing was he paired off the band kids with everyone else, with all the other students. I think I had 2 students that I got sat on either side of me. Ace is sick with typhoid fever. Bandit as well again. And so I was helping them read music, because shocker, I was in band. You have reached Fort Boise. One thing that I've noticed is that a difference between this one and the previous one is that I think I'm fine with the clothing. What's the map look like? That's not the map. Okay, so here we're almost there. I think we can do it with 2 sets of clothing. Yeah, let's continue on. Bandit has the measles. You found some wild fruit. Rough trail. Ace as well again. What did Ace have? Hold on. Timeout. Oh, Ace had typhoid fever. Okay, I was like, what did Ace have? Because Bandit had the measles. We're like a walking plague at this point. Very poor. Why are we poor? Let's check our status. Poor, measles, poor. Okay, well, I mean, we can rest for a day. It is September, so we don't want to be doing too much. You decided to rest for a day. Banded as well again. Okay, that's good. Oh, we are low on food because we're only down to 184 pounds. And someone is suffering from something that... Okay. That's good. All right. Bandit is suffering from exhaustion. You shot 413 pounds of food and used 2 bullets, but were only able to carry 200 pounds of food back. So I'm going to get over to this next landmark that is 21 miles away. And I think we're going to take a little bit of a breather. I know it's getting a little bit... We're approaching fall. If not already in fall. No grass for the oxen. You've reached Grand Ronde in the Blue Mountain. One thing I noticed between this one and the other version, we're going to rest here for a couple days. We're going to rest for 3 days. So everyone can get a chance to kind of take a chill. I've noticed that in the former version, the music was just on a loop, and it would go back and hit, and once it hit the end, it would go back. And this one actually will play through, and it plays for a set duration, and it plays through once and then ends, which is probably good because this was probably played in schools, and I could this was probably played in schools. I know I played this in school. All right, so the trail divides here. Which way do you want to go? We're gonna take the shortcut to the Dallas. And I could just see, because this is probably before we really had headphones. Well, I mean, not before we had headphones, but we wouldn't have necessarily had headphones to listen to music on computers, because, yeah. Although I remember Winamp. But I could just see this being where you have, like, say, a class of, like, 20 kids, and they're playing this, and you get them on different landmarks, and and at least, like, 5 kids just leave it on there, and so you've got all this music blaring. So I could see it being a plus that they only run it, like, once, and it's done. But when you click off of it and you click back, it starts over. So we have reached the Dallas. All right. So what is our status? All right, we are fair, except for the people that were left on the trail. We're not going to be able to go hunting. We could rest another day, but I think we're going to continue. So we can either... The trail divides here. Which way do you want to go? We can take the Barlow Toll Road, which is what we did last time. Or we can raft down the river. And as much as I kind of wanted, like, just chicken out and do the Barlow Toll Road, I feel like I need to do the raft down the river. The reason I did the Barlow Toll Road on the last episode, or the last version of this, was because it was an awkward moving, because I used certain keys that I'm not used to, and I don't have a 10 key on this computer, so, but I'm hoping I can do this a little bit easier. All right, so we're going to get information first. The final leg of your journey is a trip down the Columbia River, beginning at the Dallas and ending at the Willamette Valley, where the Willamette River flows into the Columbia. You've built a raft and loaded your wagon, supplies, and oxen aboard. Okay, timeout. They used to do this thing, and I don't know how plausible it would be on the Columbia River or up on the Dallas, because I've never been up there in real life. But a lot of times what they did, especially in early canals, is you would have a barge, which is effectively what I just did by creating a raft. And then what you would do is then you would have these barge horses, that what the barge horse did was they would walk on a trail next to the canal, and they would be hitched up, and they would basically pull the raft down the river. So why couldn't I do that? Why do the oxen have to take space on the raft? All right, use your mouse to steer and raft down the river. Haha, the mouse. So one of the big differences is we have the development and inclusion of the mouse. Fun point, the original Solitaire was originally built to help introduce people to using the mouse. The very original Solitaire. Use your mouse to steer the raft down the river. You can steer to the left and right by moving the mouse in those directions. Moving the mouse up and down and clicking has no effect. Okay, I'm going to read that again just to make sure that I know what I'm doing. Use your mouse to steer the raft down the river. You can steer it left and right by moving the mouse in those directions. Moving the mouse up and down and clicking has no effect. Okay, I think I got it. The Columbia River is very rough in spots with lots of rocks. If there's been a lot of rain recently, the river level is higher and the rocks won't be as much of a problem. But if there hasn't been much rain, which is common since Eastern Oregon is a dry region, you'll see more rocks in the river. Try to avoid those rocks. If your raft hits a rock, it may be damaged and you may lose some supplies. Your raft may even tip over or be destroyed and lives may be lost. Good luck. Okay, so we've got our little raft here, and then we've got a little pathway, and then here's the landing. So we're going to begin rafting. I really wish there was a save feature. Okay, so let's... Nope. We're going to go all the way over here. This is reminding me of one of my favorite games from when I grew up that we played on the... I think it was our Coleco. And it was called... We're going to try to scoosh right there. It was called Antarctic Adventure. And you were this little penguin, and you were trying to go from research station to research station all the way around all around Antarctica. And so you played this little penguin, and you tried to avoid seals, I think there was even a walrus. I might be mistaken on that. But there would be fish that you would try to collect, and then you were trying to like capture flags on the way down, and you had to get down. All right, pulling up on shore. Congratulations, you have reached the Wilmette Valley. All right. Okay. All right, you have arrived on October 6th, 1846, and received the following number of points. 3 people arriving in fair health, 1 wagon, 15 oxen, 3 spare wagon parts, 6 sets of clothing. Well, how many sets of clothing did I really have to start with and everything? A whole ton of bullets, almost 1482. 195 pounds of food divided by 25. $120 for a grand total of $13.88. All right, please enter your name. We are Blue Otter. Congratulations, you made it on the Oregon Trail list of legends. All right, there we are. And there we are, number 7. All right, so with that, thank you for watching and have a great day.